Start. Mr. Vice Chairman, sir, I was just pointing out that the fifth 5 year plan has been approved by the National Development Council and that from any standard, this plan is a grand plan with laudable objectives. Stop. This is what I was saying before the Honorable Minister entered the House. Stop era. Sir, this plan thinks of raising the standards of the poorest people in this country. Stop. It has also been stated in the plan that it will be self reliant and that during the 5 year period it will achieve success to have zero foreign aid in this country. Stop. From any standard taking into consideration the present position in the country. This is a very courageous stand and a very bold gesture, if I may say so, on the part of the Planning Commission. Stop. But Mr. Vice Chairman, one would like to know from the Planning Commission and from the Government of India whether this type of objective is in any way commensurate with the present position that is obtaining in the country, whether there is required economic structure, whether the society is ready for receiving such a pace of economic development, and whether the government is determined to take bold, hard decisions in order to march on the path that has been laid in the approach document of the fifth 5 year plan, because we have not so far seen the document that has been prepared by the National Development Council. Stop era. Sir, I shall also like to know from the Planning Commission what they think that their duty is. Stop. When the Planning Commission was constituted, it was not constituted to be a rubber stamp of the government. Stop. It was not expected of the Planning Commission that they will ditto everything that comes from the government. Stop. It was expected of the Planning Commission that they will raise their alarm, that they will give a word of caution to the country and to the government that the economy of the society is moving in such a direction that if remedial measures are not taken, something untoward may happen. Stop. But unfortunately, it seems that the Planning Commission has nothing to object to the decisions taken by the government, and the Planning Commission also does not think it necessary to accommodate dissent point of view. Stop era. Mr. Vice Chairman, sir, the other day I raised the question of the resignation of one of the members of the Planning Commission. Stop. To this day, nobody knows what the actual point of dissent that the member tried to press in the Planning Commission was. Stop. In spite of our request, the Planning Commission and the government did not think it proper to bring that note of dissent to the light. Stop. We read in the press from the so-called note submitted by our honorable friend. Stop. In that note, according to newspapers report, he talked of some structural changes, but we have no indication whether That note was taken into consideration at all by the Planning Commission or the Cabinet. Stop era. Sir, the administration of the Sine Workers Welfare Fund required certain changes, and from Information Ministry that has been given to the Labour Ministry. Stop. When it came there, an exercise took place in the ministry regarding certain amendments required for the purpose of giving benefit to the workers. Stop. And one such amendment is coming up today, and this is the bill which I have brought, in which there are three provisions mainly to be taken into consideration by this House for the purpose of making it an act. Stop era. The first one is that the ceiling limit, which we found that so far as BD workers are concerned or other workers in mines like dolomite and others are concerned, the ceiling of pay for coverage was rupees 1600, whereas here the ceiling was rupees 1000 per month, thereby depriving a large number of workers to come within the purview of this act. Stop. So the first proposal is to raise the ceiling limit rupees from rupees 1000 to rupees 1600. Stop. So far as the lump sum payment is concerned, the amendment proposed is that from rupees 5000 it should be brought up to rupees 8000, so that large number of workers could come within the purview of this act and get the benefit of this welfare fund. Stop era. Secondly, we propose to amend section 4 of the Sine Workers Welfare Fund Act, because it transpires that family welfare activities were not being included within this. Stop. There was an international conference, a conference of international labor organization, a tripartite seminar on compatibility of labor laws with national policy of population and moderation, held in 1984, wherein it transpired that certain benefits shall have to be included within the family welfare, and thereby we propose the amendment so that the fund which will come in this welfare fund could also be utilized for the purpose of family welfare, including family planning, education and other allied services. Stop para. The third provision is to amend section 6 of the act. Stop. We found that the number is limited to 11 for the purpose of having the central advisory committee. Stop. Now, keeping in view tripartism, that is employer, employee and the government representative, we found on examining other similar acts that acts with similar provisions exist where there is no limit to the tripartite representation of government, of the employer as well as the employee. Stop. Therefore, we propose to amend this not to limit to the number of 11 only, but to give it an opportunity in such a manner that there is involvement of more people who will participate on this advisory committee. Stop era. These are the 3 points on which this amendment is brought, and I am sure that when this amendment comes into force and the bill becomes an act, this will go a long way in improving the entire administration, particularly bringing in sine workers within the fold of the mainstream of other workers of similar category so that they get benefit. Stop.